Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Great to have y'all with us, however, whenever, and wherever you're watching. Right now, at this time, it is Friday night, January 30th, 2026. Hope everybody's staying warm out there. I mean, this winter stuff has been pretty wild down here in Northeast Texas. The snow and ice is starting to really melt away right now. There's a few patches here and there, but and of course there's snow and all that cold stuff up in New York where my buddy and the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, of course, is the one and only John Flynn.
Yes, and if you look to the right of your screen, you're seeing all these huge piles of snow. I don't know if you can see it from here. Maybe you'll have a better angle right here. Look at
Oh,
all these snow piles.
oh yes, I can definitely see that. It looks pretty wild. You said you about 8 to 10 inches.
So New York City and Long Island got it between 10 and 12 inches, maybe some 13 in some spots, but yeah,
Oh,
it's been a rough week of weather this week. I'll tell you that.
yeah. Well, this weekend down here we're expecting temperatures in the mid to high 30s and lows in the low 20s, but we don't see any precipitation, thank goodness. So, no snow and no sleet or rain or anything all that. I don't want to have to deal with icy roads again. But anyway, just to let y'all know, our friend John Natale, our league commissioner, is not going to be able to join us tonight. He has a very early shift in the mornings, so he, of course, will definitely be joining us next Friday night as we prepare for Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. And why don't we talk about that the championship Sunday? That was one of the most interesting championship Sundays I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, other than me nailing some of the predictions in terms of the spread, in terms of the winners. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I think we should start then with the AFC Championship game because that was the first one. It was such an interesting but yet perplexing game at the same time. I don't think anyone was really prepared for what was going to transpire
Yeah.
in the second half of that game with the surprise snow basically impacting the both teams' ability to move the ball up and down the field. It was just a field, but in reality though, it was really a field position battle for 60 minutes in the AFC Championship game because. Could you think everything's great for Denver to start? They think their second or third possession, they go down the field, score a touchdown. Um, Jared Stidham, I believe he found Cortland Sutton in the end zone for a touchdown to put his team up 7-zip. But that was really all the points that the Broncos scored because the Patriots eventually got a short field on a Jared Stidham fumble. The Patriots
Yeah.
scored a couple of plays later on a Drake May touchdown run. Took up 7-7. The Andres Borregales did miss two field goals, but he hit one from I believe 46 yards. If I'm not mistaken, you can check on that to put the Patriots up 10-7, and that wound up being the final score. So the Patriots are into the Super Bowl, and I was like, and after Drake May made that final run, just after the 2 minute warning. So I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, they're back in the Super Bowl already." And you think Bills fan is pissed? You think a Jets fan is pissed? It's because the Bills have had this 5 year window in the AFC East with Josh Allen being a perennial Super Bowl contender, and they could not get to the Super Bowl representing the AFC. I mean, how does it feel right now to be a Bills fan? seeing the results of these playoffs.
Yeah, I'd be pretty embarrassed. And of course, the fact that let go of their they let go of their head coach. So
Yeah, I mean, and
do
we'll
you
get into
do
who the
you
Bill.
believe? I was going to ask you, do you believe Josh Allen's Super Bowl window is starting to close?
Listen. I mean, the historic track record of one of the own coordinators taking over as the head coach after letting go of someone is pretty bleak. How I will say, however, that if Buffalo does wind up winning the Super Bowl next year, and remember, having an offensive coach still matters in this league, despite the two coaches playing in the Super. That'll be coaching the Super Bowl next week. But you have an offensive coach to bring in someone that can focus just primarily on the defense. But bring in a couple of more dudes on that defense and upgrade wide receiver, and then you can start looking at maybe the Bills potentially bouncing back and winning the AFC East because. Cause I think the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are going to win 14 games again next year because if you factor in their ridiculously easy schedule, and if you factor in all of that and who they played, so I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, if the Bills somehow win the Super Bowl without Sean McDermott, I wouldn't bat an eye. If that was the case, I don't think it's going to happen. But could it happen? We'll see.
We'll see about. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, but of course, New England got the 10-7 victory, and I guess that's all it took for them to go back to the Super Bowl, and it will be there where they will be facing against the eventual NFC champions, the Seattle Seahawks. Who, and I knew this was going to be kind of a high-scoring game. They took on the Rams and they pulled it off by a score of 31-27. And I gotta tell you, seeing Kenneth Walker III and his rushing abilities, I think I may give him a nickname. I want to call him Beast Mode 2.0. I mean, this kid's got something good.
I mean. Think about what the Seahawks running back situation has been this year. Obviously, from a fantasy standpoint, that it was really it was so hard to gauge to the running back position there because it's because of what they do inside the red zone and with Zach Charbonnet in terms of touchdown opportunities. But what is not deniable is that Kenneth Walker III is really freaking good at his job, and
Right.
and and, he's gonna wind up getting paid big time by somebody next year. So probably Seattle, because and I think the crazy thing about this too is that the Seahawks have the fourth most projected to have the fourth most cap space of any team of the 32 teams into the next season, which tells you how brilliantly constructed and how brilliantly managed the roster is by who I believe is going to be the executive of the year with John Schneider. Yeah, he held his draft picks, and most of them played an important roles in the Seahawks' victory over the Rams on Sunday night.
Yeah. Notice here there wasn't much on the rushing game, but the receiving game, that's what stole the show for me. Uh, on the Seahawks
And
side,
and, 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 and And more specifically, Tim, and you have the stats up. The play of Sam Darnold. I mean, what a performance by him, and what a redemption story for Sam Darnold after what transpired with the Jets and the Panthers.
Oh yeah, that is. I mean, that is a story that is so good. I don't know if even Hollywood could even make something like that. I mean, despite the fact that he was sacked 3 times for 25 yards, he did complete 25 of 36 passes for an amazing 346 yards and 3 touchdowns with 0 interceptions whatsoever. And I mean, Sam Darnold. I'll tell you what. I think the Vikings are probably kicking themselves.
I mean, they just fired the general manager today because of the quarterback decision.
uh, I guess you
Yeah,
want to call that.
they
Call that
fired the
yeah, hashtag karma.
yeah. So I mean I don't think the Vikings had a choice but to let it walk though because then if you kept on how do you justify JJ McCarthy then
Yeah, yeah. Sam Darnold.
and not to mention JJ McCarthy. Yeah, and not to mention JJ McCarthy wasn't great this year, which I mean, if I had one regret for my preseason predictions, I think it was that I wish I should have taken Minnesota out of my preseason predictions in terms of playoff teams because JJ McCarthy did not play well this year and he got his general manager fired, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin O'Connell got fired after next year if the Vikings don't make if the Vikings don't make the playoffs next year.
I would say that is a distinct possibility. If they're not successful next year, then O'Connell is out. But anyway, looking at the receiving core for the teams, oh, I knew I knew that two of my favorite receivers are going to get some big numbers here. For the Seahawks, Jackson Smith Najigba, who I think is probably one or two, number one or number two as far as receivers. Uh, he was he got 10 receptions on 12 targets for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. Meanwhile, on the other side, Puka Nakua, or as of course I'd like to say, Nakua Matata, he got 9 receptions off of 14 targets, managed 165 receiving yards with 1 touchdown right there. So I knew that the the air game, the passing game was going to be a huge factor in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it.
All right, so and so we will have the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl 60. Um, from what I hear so far, right now I think the line is probably Seahawks by 4.5.
You got it right. The Seahawks are currently 4.5 point favorites, which could be the large spread. It's the largest spread for a Super Bowl game in 10 years. The Panthers were 5 point favorites against the Broncos 10 years ago. Lost.
Ah, I see right there. So yeah, we're gonna have Super Bowl coming up in about 9 days. Uh-oh. Sorry, folks. I think Natale has just said no. Flynn. I think he might have probably somebody's gonna get back in here. So he's Just about to get back in here.
Yep.
Uh,
Did you hear me now?
yeah. What happened, buddy?
No, I think my internet went down for just a second, but I think it should be back up now.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Well, since we got out of the way there. The coaching carousel continues here in the postseason here. Uh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and show this page at where is it? There's okay. There's the screen. Share the page says great. Okay, there we go. This page that that Flynn put up on our Facebook chat about a little while ago before we came on the air here, talking about the different the coaches, the coordinators that have been hired in the last few days.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do believe, Tim, I think we should start because since the last time we had spoken, three other teams had made the decisions on who to hire as their head coaches. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, just 24 hours after we signed off on Friday, decided to bring Mike McCarthy back home to Pittsburgh and make him their next head coach. So
That to me was very interesting. So I think we're finally getting the screen up right now. There we go. Let's go and let me scroll down here.
yes, yeah, I think that this page is only for the coordinators, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, but we still should, but nonetheless, we should still talk about Mike McCarthy because he's only the fourth new hire for the Steelers as their head coach as the head coach in the Super Bowl era,
Right.
which to me is kind of astounding when you really think about the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, back in '69 they get Chuck Noll and they win all those Super Bowls, and
Yeah, they
then in the
won
late '80s they
they won four Super Bowls in 6 years in the '70s, and then he stayed on with the Steelers until '91. They bring in Bill Cowher that won a Super Bowl there in one Super Bowl in their 15 years there, and then um, Mike Tomlin for 19 years and won a Super Bowl and went to another one and lost and never had a losing season there. So, but I will say this is totally out of character for what the Steelers are. But I think you kind of understand why the Steelers went that route. Now the question is. Are there will he be able to bring in the right coordinators like he did in Dallas when he brought in when he brought in Dan Quinn to be his defensive coordinator in each of the last three Dallas playoff seasons. But if you do scroll down, Tim, the Steelers did announce that they're bringing in Patrick Graham, the old the old Giants and Raiders defensive coordinator, to serve the same position for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
okay. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Oh, come on, work with me, babe. Let me scroll down to the Steelers. Oh, great. What happened? Just popped on another up another window, which I didn't want. I'm trying to get this thing scrolled down. Just hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get this Steelers team. we'll get it up here. Now, was it? Now you said yes, right here. Patrick Graham, the new defensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. So, it says here, offensive-minded coach, and most important, experienced defensive coordinator. So, served as defensive coordinator in Miami for the Giants and for the Raiders. So,
I mean, one thing I will say though about this is that this will be the most the biggest collection of talent he's had as defensive coordinator. Because if you think about so if you're thinking about Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and company, that he's finally going to have a good amount of talent to work with. So and also yeah, and also Derek Harmon. They're young, good. They're start defensive tackle, young defensive tackle up the middle. So
uh,
I mean, but one thing he does do is he does that he dials up a good amount of exotic blitzes and he can get his guys to get to the quarterback. So I do like this hire for for a number of different reasons.
yeah, according to whoever made this article here, gives this higher a B plus.
Yeah, I
I'll
do
give
agree.
that.
I agree. Not I think it's a solid hire.
All righty, then. Well, so and of course, now the question is, I think they only signed Aaron Rodgers to that 1 year deal, or was it 2 years? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
I think it was just a 1 year deal.
Okay, so now the question is, now that his former coach in Green Bay is now coaching in Pittsburgh, does Aaron Rodgers come back for another year?
I think it's still to be determined. I think Schefter said that the chances of the Steelers bringing Rodgers back because they hired Mike McCarthy haven't increased or decreased. So I think it's gonna be a question about Rodgers if he wants to go one more time.
Right. So we're just going to keep our eyes and ears peeled on Rodgers right there. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons have a new offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. This grade is a C. I guess coming off of kind of a slightly less than average Falcons team from this past year.
I do actually disagree with that because I mean if you consider the reasons why it's of where the Brown the state of affairs for the Browns. In terms of the ownership battling for the quarterbacks, I actually do think it's good. I do think it's going to be a better hire than people think because I think it plays well to the strengths of the Falcons, and that's the offensive line. Bill Callahan is the offensive line coach. Considered one of the best in the league, and also Atlanta's running back is none other than from Texas.
Bijan Robinson,
Yep, Bijan Robinson.
who, of course, I believe will probably be the number one overall pick in at least 95% of all fantasy leagues.
I mean, unless he tears his ACL, yeah, which is unlikely for him, that's going to be the case. So yeah, and I think in these way too early rankings, you have to put Bijan Robinson at number one, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, and I mean, I
I
would
probably
put
put Robinson. I put Robinson at number one. And I probably put Kenneth Walker at third, maybe number two.
yeah. We'll see what Walker's situation is next year because he's like the only big free agent, pending free agent of for Seattle right now. So
Oh,
um, it's yeah, but I mean you also got to think about Jameer Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor. Do you think Christian McCaffrey is going to be a top three running back next year? Probably not, but do I think he could be someone who can be a lead back on a playoff team in your fantasy league next year? Sure, we'll give it a shot.
yeah, yeah, I'll agree with that. A new offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, Pete Carmichael Jr. So he worked with the Chargers and the Saints. Won a Super Bowl in 2009 as the offensive coordinator for the Saints. So bringing in Pete Carmichael Jr. to the Buffalo Bills. There's a grade here of excuse me, grade of A minus on this one. What do you say about it?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think he's gonna. I think he's going to bring Sean Payton's intensity of obviously to the mix for Buffalo. 'Cause I think he's going to need some sort of outside voice for that for the offensive coaching and all that. So we'll see if he fits the bill per se.
Right. Let's see what
Yeah, but
happens here.
yeah, but he is an experienced coordinator. I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Now it's just gonna be a matter of who's gonna call the plays in Buffalo. Is it gonna be Joe Brady? Joe Brady has his strengths, but I think in the divisional round against Buffalo, we saw the kind of the shortcomings as a play caller. So we'll see how Carmichael adds value to the staff.
right. Uh, I don't know if we mentioned this one on last week's show, but
Hmm.
the new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, Christian Parker from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, we did mention that at Hot Topics last week, I believe, and we both agreed that it has the feel of an inspiring hire, being a Vic Fangio of the cycle.
Right. So he help build that defense there. So hopefully he can definitely help the corners and the safeties for this coming year. Uh, Drew Petzing. He is the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. The grade here is a C plus. It says here spent 5 years with Minnesota before working 3 seasons with Cleveland. He was Kyler Murray's quarterback coach in 2022 and was the Cardinals offensive coordinator in 2023. So Drew Petzing for the Lions. What do you think about this one?
I, I don't get this one at all because you figure with the talent that the Lions have with Jameer Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown and some talent on the offensive line like Panay Sewell, who was first team All Pro right tackle this year. Yeah,
Right,
you thought they'd be able to at least be close to landing the big fish like Mike McDaniel, but that clearly was not the case, and I thought that was a bad job all the way around by the Lions not being able to get that done.
right. So with that that was almost like a free fall that Detroit had from 2 years ago to this last year. Very disappointing. And I think we did mention Eric Bieniemy becoming offensive coordinator for the Chiefs again.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. That was a B minus on this article right here. Uh,
Really, I thought it would be higher, but nonetheless.
right here. Former we mentioned did we mention former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel becoming a new offensive coordinator with Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah, it became a formality this week, but it was contention on him not getting a head coaching job elsewhere. But yeah, I think that's a great hire by the Chargers because I think you have a great play caller with an uber talented quarterback in Justin Herbert. We'll see how things will be able to match up.
That's right. And this article here, they gave it an A plus. They definitely agree with this one here.
Yeah,
And
and and
and it,
and then I think they also we're going to say they hired their new defensive coordinator as well with their replacement for Jesse Minter.
that's right, Chris O'Leary. And they give this hire an A minus.
Uh huh.
So spent the 2024 season as the Chargers safeties coach. Uh, he was uh, he was a coach at Western Michigan. So okay. Bobby Slowick was hired as the new offensive coordinator in Miami. An A minus grade on this one.
Uh huh.
So they do need a little bit more help on the offense though. If Tua can stay healthy, of course we've been talking about that probably ever since he got into the league. So
I mean, you could say that again.
right. So Bobby Slowick in Miami now. Your New York Football Giants, Denard Wilson is your new defensive coordinator, grade B. So you're a Giants fan. What do you think about this one?
I wish it could have been better, but I like the hire a lot. I think he did fine for the talent he was given in Tennessee. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do like it a lot.
Okay, a B plus on this grade here. Uh, how about the New York Jets? Their new defensive coordinator Brian Duker, C minus on this call here.
Yeah, it shows to show you what's been going on with the Jets and Aaron Glenn firing like half of his staff after year one, and 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 like the lack of job security, obviously, because it feels like he's going to get fired after the season.
Right. So yeah, but as we say, Jets do Jets things. The Eagles have a new offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion. They give him a B for this hire.
It's it was kind of insane with the Eagles' offensive coordinator search. I think the reason it took this long because like the Eagles were really looking for someone that could work with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, but there doesn't seem to be a positive say, um, a, po- a positive outlook for for Sirianni. So, um, but I mean, Jalen Hurts did not have a great season last year, despite all of the fantasy statistics.
Right.
So,
Okay. Tampa Bay had some new.
but I will say, nonetheless, I thought Philly did as well as they could with all of the candidates that decided to go elsewhere.
Right. Okay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they hired a new offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. He was okay. Zach Robinson. He was with Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Atlanta. So, and of course, with the Falcons, of course, facing the Bucks twice a year, so he pretty much has an idea of this. They gave this rank a B plus on this ranking.
I mean, I actually kind of disagree. I feel like it's gonna be more of B minus C plus because I don't think I don't think he showed an ability to maximize the talent. I mean, Bichon is Bichon, but but I mean, kind of it was self inflicted wounds, but I don't know if I don't know if this is going to be the coordinator that gets the Buccaneers back into the playoffs.
Hmm. See how that happens go as that goes on in the next couple of years. Former Giants head coach Brian Daboll now is the new offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, and he has been given a B plus grade on this one. I mean,
Oh, I mean,
there's only one way the Tennessee Titans can go right now, right?
right, it's up, and I thought that was a great hire by the Titans.
Hopefully, helping out Cam Ward and Tony Pollard and the rest of those guys right there. Uh, there's a new offensive and defensive coordinator in Washington. The Commanders hiring David Blau,
A
or I think
bluff.
that's how
Yep.
David Bluff for their offensive coordinator and Durante Jones for their defensive coordinator. So two new coordinators in DC.
Yeah, I mean, Javante Jones, I think was an assistant under Brian Flores in Minnesota. So I think he's gonna try and execute a scheme similar to his, in Washington. So we'll see if they'll get Washington to bounce back. But I do kind of I do kind of like these hires a bit for Washington. So
All right. And so with that, there's only two head coaching jobs still available. It was if you told me it was the Cardinals and I think you said the Raiders.
yep.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Raiders, only two teams that are still looking for a head coach. Meanwhile, the Cardinals and Raiders are looking for offensive coordinators as well as the Ravens, the Browns, the Broncos, the Giants, the Jets, and the Steelers. Meanwhile, both the Cardinals and Raiders are looking for a defensive coordinator as well as the Ravens, Bills, Browns, Dolphins, 49ers, and Titans. So, yeah, there's still going to be a little bit more shuffling going on here in the next
Yeah.
few weeks. So, but I guess that's the way our carousel, the coaching carousel, has gone on right now so far, with a little
Hmm.
more than 1 week away from a Super Bowl 60.
Yep.
So, right now we're going to be talking about doing a little doing a little forecasting here for the 2026 fantasy football season. It's what we call way too early fantasy rankings here. I uh I printed out these lists here. These lists came from fantasypros.com
Yep.
and got some very interesting very interesting names that could be right pretty much at the top going into the 2026 campaign.
Mhm.
Starting with the quarterbacks, the top five that are listed here are Josh Allen from Buffalo, Drake May for the
I mean,
Patriots.
I mean, Josh Allen feels to be given because since he's been a top two or three fantasy quarterback each of the last 6 years.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree. They have Drake May for the Patriots at number two. They have Lamar Jackson from the Ravens at number three, Joe Burrow from the Bengals at number four, and Jaden Daniels at number five. Even though Daniels kind of had an injury late in the season last year.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of an injury riddled year, but when healthy, he is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So yeah, I mean, and I think what I've been seeing on a lot of these way too early to, rankings lists is that all four NFC East quarterbacks are in the are in the top half of the list. Like Jackson Dart, Jalen Hurts, despite his pocket skills is could still run and he'll have rushing touchdowns. So I kind of see that and Dak Prescott there as well. And then we'll see. And then Jackson Dart showed a lot of promise last year. So I mean, so I'm excited to see a full season of him as a starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants. I mean, Caleb Williams should be on the list there. Um,
Yeah, we have Jalen Hurts at number 6, Jackson Dart at 7, Justin Herbert from the Chargers at 8, Patrick Mahomes from the Chiefs at 9, Dak Prescott for Dallas at number 10. Then
Yeah,
whenever
and I
you
mean,
go,
go ahead. Who's 11 and 12?
number 11 is Trevor Lawrence from the Jaguars. Number 12 is Brock Purdy from the 49ers. You mentioned Caleb Williams. He's at number 13.
Okay, so we'll stop there for everything. Yeah, for the purposes of tonight. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind any of those at all. I do wonder though, what a full season of Tyler Shuck is going to bring. He showed a lot of promise last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a big step up next year as well. So, and I think Tyler Shuck is going to be the most should be on people's list as the most underrated quarterback in the league. So I think he's really really good.
They have him on this list at number 20.
Yeah, I do think he's going to overperform that. So I think in terms of fantasy, he could be like a Dak Prescott or Drake May next year. So I mean that's how highly I think of Shuck. So yeah, so those are the quarterbacks. So now what do they have for the running backs?
For the running backs, as expected, my man Bijan Robinson is ranked number 1. They have Jameer Gibbs from the Lions at number 2. They have Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey at number 3. Jonathan Taylor from the Colts at number 4. And Devon Chan from the Dolphins at number 5.
I mean, we'll have to see what Devon Achan's situation is going to be like because the Dolphins are $30 million over the projected cap for next year. So, and I think Achan unfortunately is the prime cut candidate for the Dolphins because it would because his dead cap hit next year is only $850,000.
Yeah, so it's not going to be too much of a hit for the Dolphins there. 6 through 10 reads this way: James Cook from the Bills at number 6. Uh,
Yeah.
Ashton Ashton Genty from the Raiders at number 7. Derrick
If
Henry
the,
from
I mean, I will say if the Raiders finally give him a line to work with, an offensive line to work with, I mean, and they have a lot of cap space, and they'll probably be urged to do so anyway to protect, so they can protect Fernando Mendoza. I do think yeah he could be in for a better season this year than he was last year, where he had nothing to work with.
right. I see here. Then number 8 is Derrick Henry from the Ravens. Number 9, Omarion Hampton from the Chargers. And number 10, Saquon Barkley from the Eagles. Now,
Uh-huh.
the way Omarion Hampton started, in my opinion, I looked like he was going to be like a breakout rookie running back, but of course that injury came up to him, and lost a little bit of time, but I had high hopes for him.
I mean, if he stayed healthy the whole year, he would have been the slam dunk offensive rookie of the year, and not even close.
Right. Just for the sake of argument here, they have a Cam Scatterbo at number 21.
Hmm.
Yeah, the injury bug got him too, so he was promised. He was a
Yeah,
young, promising running back right there.
yeah. And
Meanwhile,
who do they have at 11 and 12 before we move on to receivers?
number 11, number 11, Josh Jacobs from the Packers, and number
Uh
12, Brees Hall from the Jets.
huh. Uh huh. Okay, so it's now on to receivers.
I'm looking for my man. Javante Williams was number 20.
Okay.
Okay. So to the receivers here. Number one, okay, 1 through 5. Puka Nakua from the Rams at number 1. Jamar Chase from the Bengals at number 2. Jackson Smith from the Seattle Seahawks at number 3. Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Lions at number 4. And at number 5, CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys.
Uh-huh. And then 6 through 12.
6 through 12, Malik Neighbors from the Giants. Jake London from the Falcons. Nico Collins from the
I, I,
Texans.
I, I think given the history of receivers recovering from ACL injuries, I think Malik Neighbors is a little high. But if he's going to get the volume, if he's going to get volume, especially if the Giants do wind up not letting Wandale Robinson walk, that I can understand it. But man, I feel like I don't know if he's going to be a top 10 receiver next year. I mean, if he's a bit, I mean, you can certainly take a risk, but it's going to be hard seeing Neighbors to be back to 100% after the ACL tear.
Right. So you got Neighbors at 6, Drake London at 7, Nico Collins at 8, Rasheed Rice from the Chiefs at number 9, George Pickens from the Cowboys at number 10, Justin Jefferson from the Vikings at number 11, and number 12, Chris Olave from the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Chris Olave overperforming because I think he finished in the top 10 a year ago.
Yeah, he did. So interesting list there for the receivers.
Yep.
Now to the tight ends. 1 through 6 here. Number 1, Trey McBride from the Cardinals. Number 2, Brock Bowers from the Raiders, although he had kind of a down year last year. Number 3, Tucker Kraft from the Packers. Number 4, Colson Loveland from the Bears. 5, Tyler Warren from the Colts. And number 6, Harold Fannin Jr. from the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah. And now 7 through 12.
7 through 12, Sam Laporta from the Lions. Kyle Pitts from the Falcons. Dalton Kincaid from the Bills. Aranda Gadsden from the Chargers. Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys. And George Kittle for the Niners.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Theo Johnson for your Giants comes in number 20.
Uh huh.
So those are the tight ends. Now we go to the kickers. But is there any surprise who the number 1 kicker is on this list?
Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey. Number 2, Kaimi Fairbairn from the Texans. Cam Little from the Jaguars at 3. Cameron Dicker from Texas.
Texas.
Is that number 4? Evan McPherson from the Bengals at number 5. Jason Myers at number 6. And then 7 through 12 is Tyler Loop. I
Ooh.
almost gave him the nickname Tyler Oops from what happened on Division Sunday. Uh, Andy Bar,
No, the week 18.
right?
The
That was
beginning of the.
week 18. Right,
Yep.
right. Anyway, you got Loop at 7. Uh, Andy Bargalis from the Patriots at number 8. Eddie Pinheiro from the 49ers at number 9. Chase McLaughlin from Tampa Bay at number 10. Carlos Santos from the Bears at number 11. And Harrison Mevis and Butthead is at number 12. Yeah, so there's kickers right there. As far as, hmm, okay. Oh, I printed the kicker page twice. I thought I printed out the list for the defense and special teams, but let me see here. Where was that page? It was Fancy Pros. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for defenses, you don't need to worry about it tonight.
okay, okay. All right, just for sake of argument, we'll cut out the defenses. So a very interesting list right over here. So see how they do
Yep.
going into 2016 season. As we
Yep.
now go into one of my favorite parts of the show, it's time for Chef Trivia. Now, Natalie earlier today, since he wasn't going to be here, he kind of gave a question which I thought was a little bit too easy. I think you
Yeah.
probably thought
I mean,
too.
yeah, I knew it right away. Both of us did.
Yeah. So
And
his
it's
question was,
yeah, we basically had to identify which team, the only team franchise that had appeared in both the AFC and the NFC Championship games, and that was the Seahawks.
yeah, that's Seahawks. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember the
You know, so
Seahawks used to be an AFC team. So,
who will be playing for a second Lombardi Trophy next weekend? So
yep. So I couldn't really come up with a question, but I understand you have two, and I see one of them
yeah,
up there right now. So let's see what this
yep,
says here. Let me expand this screen here so I can read a little bit better. Trey McBride set the single season Cardinals receptions record last season. Uh, put that up here with 126 catches. Who are the three other tight ends that hold such a record for other teams? Most receptions in a season?
yep.
Okay.
And I will give you a hint. All three tight ends are active tight ends.
Active tight ends. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well one is obvious.
Mhm.
Uh okay, Trey McBride is one. The one is obvious. Uh, well, I can go ahead and give you the obvious one. The obvious one is Travis Kelsey. Uh, man, Who's the other ones that have they're active tight ends?
They're all three are active. Yes.
Okay, then I might want to count out Kelsey, but I don't know because he still hasn't made a decision on whether he's going to retire or not. I'm still
So
thinking
I
Kelsey.
mean, he hasn't made his decision yet. So technically, he's still active until otherwise noted.
Okay, so my answers are McBride,
So,
Kelsey.
McBride is one, so because that was the subject of the question. So three other teams.
Right. Uh,
Have the single season receptions record for all receivings set by tight ends, and there are three other teams that have that distinction, and all three of the tight ends are currently active players.
okay. Travis Kelsey, Sam Laporta, and Mark Andrews.
Okay, so you're saying going with Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, and Travis Kelsey.
That's probably the best play I know of.
All right. So you only wound up getting one correct.
It's probably Kelsey.
Mark Andrews.
Oh, so I got Andrews.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. The other two. The other two tight ends that hold the single season receptions record for franchises are Mark Andrews, Brock Bowers of the Raiders. He said it last year.
Mark Bowers.
Yeah, and the other one is Zach Ertz. So when he said it for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018, he's now a member of the Commanders. So
Zach.
Mark Andrews, Brock Bowers, and Zach Ertz are your answers.
That was the wrong one, I think.
Yeah,
I think you
yeah,
meant. I
but
think you meant. I think you meant the other one. There you go. There you go.
all right. And my second and final trivia question is: which quarterback had the most top 12 weekly finishes in fantasy this year?
The quarterback that finished in the top 12 in every week of fantasy football this season.
So who had the most weekly finishes in the top 12?
Most weekly finishes in the top 12. Um, so it's got to be a very good one. Uh, the obvious answer would be Josh Allen, but that's not my answer. Um, I'm going to have to go. Joe Burrow, he got hurt.
Yeah, Joe Burrow got hurt, so he's
So, so,
obviously not it.
so I'm not saying Burrow. Um, so I think I think I think I may know. I think I may have this one. I mean, he had a pretty darn good season all the way through. I'm going to say Sam Darnold.
So you're thinking Sam Darnold?
I'm kind of leaning towards Sam Darnold.
Well, you can still hear me, right?
I still can hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the whole list for you in just a second, but um, but in terms of Sam Darnold,
Oh,
so Sam Darnold did not appear on the top 10 list. So the quarterback with the most finishes inside the top 12 is playing on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's Drake May
Drake May,
with 13 of them.
13 weeks in the top 12. So should have gone the other way instead of Sam Darnold. Should have
Yeah,
gone with
yeah,
May.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Josh Allen and Dak Prescott were tied second most with 11. Um,
Wow.
four quarterbacks that had nine. Four quarterbacks had nine. Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, and Jacoby Brissett.
3%.
And then three others had 8. Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, and Baker Mayfield.
This station is Mineola.
Wow.
This is the train to N station. The
Well,
next
those were
station
very
is
good questions,
Carousel.
sir. I must say those were very good there. So,
Yep.
all right. And I guess with that, I guess
Yep.
we will go ahead and close out this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. We will be back with you next Friday. We will preview Super Bowl 60. We'll break down the quarterbacks, we'll take down the running backs, all the key positions, who has the advantage here, who has the advantage there, and all culminating with our picks to see who wins the game, what the final score will be, and who we think the MVPs will be. So,
Yep.
The next station
but
is
of course,
Carousel.
before we leave you, of course, we have to do a little PR right now. I mean, not
Hmm.
and what do they call it? Uh, I don't know. I just call it PR, but some people call it something else.
Yes. Yeah.
Shameless plug. Shameless
Yes.
plug. That's what I call it. Y'all be sure to check out Hooked on Sports with my man Flynn here. You can listen to him on Apple iTunes. You can listen to him on Spotify. You can listen to him on TuneIn, and also you can also watch him on his YouTube channel, John Flynn 1589. So you can watch and listen. Uh,
Yep.
but I wouldn't suggest at the same time because it would be kind of weird. Uh, Next Wednesday, our Panic Game Pick'em show, we will be making our Super Bowl picks. So we're going to have that. If y'all didn't check out Panic Game last night on the Aprils of Night channel, we kind of compared the rankings of the teams as to what we ranked them in the preseason, what we thought they were going to finish where, and we had a best clips segment right there. So y'all check that out. Panic Game Pickups on the YouTube channel, April 90. We'll be back next week for our Super Bowl preview. Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on the April 90 channel. So, as you can read right here, 9 days away.
Yep.
So we're making all the preparations. I think if I'm not mistaken, the teams will be arriving in Santa Clara around that time, about Sunday. Get
Yep.
ready for Super Bowl week, get everything going, then get ready for the big game. So can't believe the season's just about over. I mean, it
Yep.
seemed
Just
like
one game left to play.
one game left to play for all the marbles. So, uh, so I guess we'll bring this one to a close. John Natale, I'm sure, will be back with us next week. John Flynn, of course, will be back next week. And of course, I'll be back next week. So we all hope that you will be back next week. For John Natale, for John Flynn, I'm Tim McClelland. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Get ready for the Super Bowl. God bless you all. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.